Hey friends, happy Saturday morning. It is going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. Just wanted to share something that was on my heart this morning, something that I hope blesses you as much as it did me. Had a very timely Bible study just in light of the weather that we're having today. So look around, you can see there's storms all around. There's been lightning pop up and all of these different things, and there's a pretty good chance we're going to get a belly washer here in about an hour or so, but we're praying it kind of holds off because it's the second annual Run for Rudy 5K. But speaking of storms, this is why it was so timely. I was carrying on in the book of Jonah, and in verse 4 it says, "But the Lord sent out a great wind on the sea, and there was a mighty tempest on the sea, so that the ship was about to be broken up." And I love this because it's such a reminder to us that sometimes the storms of life can be God's greatest mercies. He sent the storm out because we know that Jonah was running away from his calling, and he was on the ship and he was headed to Tarshish. He was headed as far away from Nineveh as he could possibly get. But the Lord in his grace and his mercy sent this storm. And the story goes on to tell us that they came down because Jonah had gone to the bottom of the ship and he was asleep, and they came down and they woke up Jonah because they didn't understand why this great storm was coming upon them, and they said, "Wake up, sleeper." Is that good or what? I mean, the Lord sent this storm to wake up Jonah. And here we're told that they said to one another, "Come, let us cast lots to find out why this was happening." And they cast lots, and by God's divine intervention they found out it was Jonah. But verse 10, I love this, because then the men were exceedingly afraid and said to him, "Why have you done this?" For the men knew that he had fled from the presence of the Lord, because he had told them. They knew that he had fled from the presence of the Lord, and even these non-believers understood how futile that was. But I love this because Jonah came to his senses and he repented, and he said, "Just throw me into the sea, just throw me into the sea, and all this will go away." He had fully surrendered to the Lord. And of course the men didn't want to do that because they were afraid of Jonah's God. But when they found out that there was no other way, they threw Jonah into the sea. And we know the story. He eventually ended up in the belly of a big fish. But this is the deal. It is futile, absolutely futile, for us to run from the calling of the Lord. And sometimes these storms in life, we look at them and we say, "Lord, why? Why? I don't understand." It's only in retrospect that we can look back and see that it was the mercy of God, that God used the storm to pull us back to Him, to have us fully surrender, so that we could live the life that God intended for us. So I don't know what you're going through today, but I'm telling you, if the storms of life are beating at your door, look to the Lord and say, "Lord, I don't know what you're doing through this, but I surrender my life to you today. Use this storm to put me back on track so that I can fulfill the calling you have placed on my life." So guys, I really, really hope that blesses you. Larry and I are almost to the race, and we're actually going to dress up as donuts today. It is going to be a great day.